Imagine looking at your own granddaughter and not knowing who she is. That's what Alzheimer's disease slowly does, often years before anyone notices. But now, one tiny blood sample might reveal the disease almost a decade before symptoms appear. No brain scan, no surgery, just blood. And here's the unbelievable part. Space medicine helped make it possible. Yes, research designed for astronauts changed how we study diseases here on Earth. How can space help predict memory loss? To answer that, we first need to understand what Alzheimer's really is. Your brain is basically the busiest city you'll ever own. Billions of nerve cells constantly talk to each other. Every memory, every face, every favorite song depends on these connections. But then, something starts clogging the network. Scientists call these sticky clumps amyloid plaques. Inside the cells, another protein called tau starts tangling everything. Little by little, parts of the brain begin shutting down. Everyone forgets things sometimes. That's normal. Alzheimer's is something completely different. The scary part is the disease starts silently, years before memory problems. What we see is only the tip of the iceberg. Finding Alzheimer's early has always been difficult. Brain scans are expensive and not available everywhere. Some tests even require collecting spinal fluid. By the time symptoms appear, significant brain damage has often already happened. Time is the biggest enemy. Then, scientists realized something incredible. Your blood quietly carries clues from your brain. Damaged brain cells leak tiny protein fragments into the blood. Like tiny messages in a bottle, the challenge was finding them. They're incredibly rare, almost impossible to detect. Scientists needed an entirely new level of sensitivity. That's where a remarkable technology entered the picture. It can detect just a handful of molecules among billions. Imagine finding one glowing needle in the world's biggest haystack. Now doctors can measure disease-related proteins with astonishing accuracy. The differences appear years before memory starts fading. Sometimes nearly 10 years earlier. Someone may feel perfectly healthy while these changes quietly begin. Earlier diagnosis means more time to prepare. It also gives treatments and lifestyle changes the best chance to help. But what does any of this have to do with space? The answer begins hundreds of kilometers above Earth. Astronauts experience something very unusual in space. Without gravity, body fluids move toward the head. That changes pressure inside the brain. Researchers wanted to understand these changes in incredible detail. They began studying tiny molecules in astronauts' blood. Detecting even the smallest biological changes became essential. Space pushed detection technology to new limits. The tools became unbelievably precise. And then something unexpected happened. Technology built for astronauts started helping patients on Earth. Space medicine and neuroscience suddenly became teammates. Researchers realized the same ultra-sensitive methods could detect Alzheimer's proteins. One blood sample could now reveal what was happening inside the brain. That could change millions of lives. Imagine making early diagnosis available almost everywhere. Earlier answers mean more precious time. But could this be only the beginning? Because the same technology might soon detect many other diseases long before we ever feel sick. What if one small blood sample could someday warn us about many diseases, not just Alzheimer's? Scientists discovered that one protein called p-tau217 is one of the strongest warning signs we've ever found. People developing Alzheimer's often have much higher levels of this protein years before symptoms begin. Think of it as your brain quietly sending an SOS message through your blood. Instead of relying only on costly brain scans, doctors may soon begin with something much simpler. Imagine discovering a disease at 55 instead of 65. That extra decade could completely change how families prepare for the future. Earlier knowledge also means earlier healthy lifestyle changes. Some newer treatments work best when the disease is caught early. Your brain has a much better chance when it gets help before major damage happens. Scientists are becoming detectives, following tiny clues hidden inside every drop of blood. Each protein tells a small part of your body's story. Artificial intelligence now helps scientists recognize patterns humans might miss. Instead of looking at one clue, AI examines thousands simultaneously. That makes these blood tests even more powerful. But there is an important challenge. Scientists need to test people from every background around the world. The more data researchers collect, the more reliable these tests become. Science only becomes trustworthy when the same results appear again and again. That's exactly what researchers are doing right now. But here's an even bigger question. Would you want to know you might develop Alzheimer's 10 years from now? Some people would feel empowered. Others might feel overwhelmed. That's why these tests should always be paired with expert medical guidance. Knowledge should create hope, not fear. Genes matter, but your daily habits matter too. Sleep, exercise, healthy eating, and staying mentally active all support brain health. Your brain loves being challenged. Every new skill strengthens communication between your neurons. The brain keeps adapting throughout much of our lives. This brings us back to space. The International Space Station isn't just a home for astronauts. It's also one of the most unique laboratories ever built. Without gravity, biology behaves in surprising ways. That helps scientists discover things impossible to see on Earth. Time after time, discoveries made for astronauts end up helping everyone. Space exploration often creates tools nobody expected, from GPS to medical technology. The benefits reach far beyond spaceflight. This tiny blood sample could become another one of those unexpected gifts. A discovery inspired by space, helping protect memories on Earth. Because memories aren't just information, they're who we are. Every memory tells the story of your life. Alzheimer's slowly erases those stories, but science is writing a different ending. Blood testing, artificial intelligence, and space research are becoming an incredible team. The future of medicine may begin long before symptoms appear. One day, a simple yearly blood test might become completely routine. Doctors could stop many diseases before they seriously damage the body. We're only beginning to imagine what's possible. Sometimes, understanding the smallest things requires looking toward the biggest. The journey to protect our memories may have started among the stars. Who would have guessed that studying astronauts could help protect your grandparents? The universe keeps reminding us that everything is connected. Space isn't separate from our lives. It quietly shapes them every day. And perhaps the greatest discoveries are the ones that help us stay connected to the people we love. One tiny drop of blood, carrying a decade of hidden information. A future where Alzheimer's is detected before it steals memories is closer than ever. And that future may belong to all of us. The next medical revolution may already be orbiting above us, or waiting inside a single drop of blood. Curiosity is what drives every great discovery. Join our community of curious minds. Subscribe and explore the universe with us, one amazing story at a time.